Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
So, hey Scotty, I just, I'm so excited. Okay, so you can hear me good, right? Sorry guys, when I do this from home, my internet's a little iffy here. I kind of, for those of you that don't know me, I live, in the mountains of North Georgia, and you'd think in 2019 that you would get some better internet service, but I'm very, very excited tonight. I'm excited to, be with everybody. And one thing I would like for you to do is please, please, please let me know exactly where you are. I know we've got some women on tonight. We've got some men on tonight. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Scotty, Rick, Randolph, Ralph, Mauricio, Miss Kenna, Scotty. I know he's in Alabama. John Morgan, Frankie King, Craig, Bob, Miss Ann, Alicia, and Janelle. So, and I know a lot of other ones are coming on. Craig's over there in Pittsburgh. We got Kenna holding it strong in Chi-Town. I was just trying to be cool, Kenna, but she definitely lives there. So, but welcome everybody. So, tonight is, one of, my mission statements is, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, but one of the mission statements is, I really would like to get more women into this business. I'll tell you, I've been in this business for around, 7 years now. And it just baffles me that not more women are. I've been to, multiple masterminds where, there was 30 men and maybe me and one other lady. And then the other ladies that were there were maybe their personal assistants or something like that. So I would like to share, hey, Frankie Randolph from Los Angeles, John over there in Jacksonville. Hope you're doing well, John. I'll give you a call tomorrow. But I go to these masterminds and it kills me. I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is just like a boys group or a boys club, and I thought of many, many, many reasons, why that is. And I want to kind of share that with you and also let you know why I think, women are great at this business. Number one, looking, starting back from, age old, I've actually always, had jobs where it was more of, let's say, like a man's job. Like one of my first real jobs was as I worked for Coca-Cola and I was a merchandiser. So I was one of the ones that like put all the stuff on the shelf, turned all the Coca-Cola bottles the right way. It was a hard, demanding job. And 300 men at that location, I was only one of two women that did that exact same job, So I've kind of always done that. I don't know if it was my need of competition, that I did that. Not really sure. About 10 years, I ran a lawn care company, a fertilization and weed control company. That can be kind of strange for a woman to do that. I was one of the first women I was actually that company's first female technician. And then I kind of grew within the company and, actually was running that company, myself. So it was kind of fun. Had 25 male technicians, but my attention to detail and some of those things is what really, really made me good at it. Now, when I got into real estate investing, I really did not think about it to start with, that maybe that was a male-dominated career. I just didn't know. When I got into, real estate investing, I thought it was real similar to like realtors and things like that. So, and a lot of realtors are women, so I just kind of assumed. But after, getting into the business, I just noticed not as many women. I go to, seminars, speaking engagements, and, I've had many, many, many of these guys tell me, well, Julie, you're like just like one of the only ones that we know. And there's some great women in this business doing this business too, that I know of, and they sort of have the same mantra. But that's really, really been my story. And I'll tell you, what has made me great at this business is my ability to talk to people. My empathy and the love that I have for, the population as a whole. As many of you know, in real estate investing, it's really all about solving people's problems, right? And if you go into this business with the aptitude of solving problems, then not only are you going to have a successful and profitable career, but you're also going to have, a very fulfilled life. I'll actually never forget the first deal I did. It was a duplex here in Atlanta, and she was an 85-year-old. She was the sweetest lady ever. I actually went to her birthday party that next year. She invited me to her birthday party. And I should with her, but I don't even, I haven't talked to her in quite a while. But, it's people like that. It's things like that that really makes this business amazing. All the different type of people that you meet, the relationships that you can build, and when you're out there and you're doing this business and you're going to these appointments, you're going to be very, very surprised at the issues that people run across in life, and, women just are very empathetic and they make good listeners. So, being able to do that, whether you're male or whether you're female, is good. And, I kind of want to, get, one thing clear. This conversation has nothing to do with feminism. Feminism, in my opinion, has more to do with, politics and things like that. So, I just want to be clear here. I think men and women are great at this business. Obviously, men are killing it out there. So we already know that. So a little tap on the shoulder. And honestly, every mentor I've ever had in this business has been a male. So I, appreciate the things that I've learned from them, and continue to learn. Hey, Elise, as we go through this. So let's kind of talk about, some of the things that maybe stop women from being more successful. And hey, guys, if you don't mind, and everybody let me know, if you don't mind, can I be real with you guys tonight? I hope you're not going to be offended by some of the things that I say, but any of you that know me know I'm just going to be really straight up, and I'm going to, tell it to you like it is. So if you don't mind, let me know, but please let me just be upfront, clear, and honest with you of how I feel, women are. And I'll tell you, and I did actually a live video on this the other day. Look, we are in this is 2019. This is more. I hear there say, well, I don't have a leg up. I don't have the same opportunities. Okay. I can't speak for those people, but I can speak for myself. And I can tell you right now, I have never, ever, ever been slighted in any position or had less of an opportunity than a male, ever. I may have had to work harder in certain areas just because there's things that women can do and there's things that men can do. Like, let's say, like when I worked for Coca-Cola, or whenever, did the lawn care business all day and loading my van with 50-pound bags of fertilizer probably was a little bit harder for me physically than it was for my male coworkers. Okay. But that nothing has ever stopped me from being successful, so I want to get that clear. In no way, shape, or form or fashion have I ever been, put in a place to where I've not had the same opportunity just because I'm a female. Honestly, I think it's kind of given me a leg up, and for all of you women out there, I really think whatever dreams that you have, you've got to go after them. There's nothing holding you back. And hey, guys, let these women know. Do you feel that, women are slighted in any way? Because I know they can see it on here, but I believe, we have every opportunity in the world. And listen, women are only as likely to start, or women are only half as likely to start a business. You hear that? So whenever you're looking at men and women, I'll tell you, only I think I was looking at it today, about 38% of businesses are owned by women. So why is that? Let's talk about why we think that reason is. So men are basically, almost 60 to 65% more likely to start a business than women are. Okay. And that's strange to say, because the profitability of a company, actually women business owners outperform men and have a 35% higher return on the investment. Okay. And that study was brought by Inc. So isn't that crazy that women are half as likely to start a business as men, whenever women, tend to lead better teams and have a 35% higher rate of return. Okay. So let's talk about why, that is, or why maybe a woman may, as an entrepreneur or as a real estate investor, they're not only as real estate investing, but I look at it this way. I mean, I have friends that want to open restaurants, that, want to start, my other friend, she wants to do the thing where you bring people in and you paint and then you drink wine while you do that. I just think that's the coolest thing ever. But women, I'm going to be real here. The reason why I believe that is because women really, really, really struggle with a lack of self-confidence. Wouldn't you guys agree? The issue is so prevalent that it stands in the way of your achievements, okay? Because of your lack, or our lack of self-confidence, and the fact that we always constantly have to feel like like we need someone's opinion of ourselves, or does my hair look good? Does my clothes look good? Do I got wrinkles under my eyes? Do I have this? These ridiculous thoughts are stopping you from reaching your full potential. And what you're doing is you're never taking the risk that it takes that's necessary to reach your full potential. Another thing, women, they do need constant approval. Okay. I fully believe women are all the time needing constant approval. When we do something, let's be real, like the selfies, all of this on social media. I look pretty. Look at this outfit. Look at this. You're constantly wanting someone's approval instead of maybe just looking in the mirror and saying, yeah, damn, I look good. So I know this is an issue that really affects us. And this fear that you have of failure and not getting that approval, it is ruling our lives. Okay. So I really, we've got to have confidence. And then the fact that we don't need, a constant approval from everybody else. Another thing, that stops, and I'm just reading my notes, guys. If you see me look down, I made some notes today. So this is kind of a thought and something that for many years, women feel like, they're the ones that used to take care of the kids. They're the ones that used to do all of that, right? And, one good thing about a woman, and look, it's okay for family to come first. Because let me tell you, my husband comes first and my kids come first every day of the week, right? So, but what you've got to stop doing is you're making your family and your children an excuse to not follow your dreams. I hate to say that. I did this video yesterday, and I talked to this lady that wants to, start a restaurant. And she goes, well, when the kids get out of school, I'm going to do this. Was like a year ago. When the kids get out of school, I'm going to do this. Now that the kids are out of school, when they start back to school, I'm going to do this. Well, are you going to start now? Well, no, because it's Christmas time. I'll start in the spring. Okay, spring. Hey, girl, you getting it started again? Well, no, once Easter gets past, then I'll do it. Okay. What we're doing is we're using maybe our family and our children as excuses for not being high achievers. Okay? So you've got to let that stuff go. I'm not saying not have your family first and your children first. What I'm saying is to stop letting that be an excuse for why you can't achieve your goals. You know, many of you think, oh, well, I don't have the time. I don't have this. I don't have that time. You know, someone said, you know, mine is finances. There are businesses you can get into that doesn't really cost anything. Actually, you know, real estate investing, what you're doing is you're actually trying to find deals. Driving for dollars and sending letters to sellers is a good barrier for entry, you know, for you if you're looking to get into this business. It doesn't cost much and has made me well over $1 million just by doing that one strategy. And for, you know, a lot of you guys that are on, I work with you one-on-one, and you know that is one of the strategies, you know, that I use. And by the way, if you guys have any questions during this, just go ahead and put it in the comment box, answer it. So, you know, I'm encouraging you ladies that whatever, and I mean whatever you want to do, you can do it. Okay. I've just given you studies to prove that you can be, you know, bigger, faster, stronger, but we could be really, really, really. Now, and I did get some of this stuff off of the, you know, I guess I plagiarized it a little bit, but I did, you know, find 17 reasons why I believe that women make real estate investor. Are you guys ready for these reasons? And be thinking about why you think. I mean, why somebody, you know, put on here why you think women are great real estate, would be a great real estate investor. Or maybe great at starting their own business. I mean, even, you know, you guys out there, I mean, you've got wives, you've got daughters, you've got mothers. You know exactly why you think women would be really, really good at this business. But I'll go ahead and, you know, get started. Number one, they value you. They value the work life. So they really, really, really value, you know, the home life and the work life and the balance between those two. So they are, so what that means is they know where their priorities stand and a lot of times. And by the way, I do got some answers here. Lisa says women are go-getters and put more into it. Yes, ma'am. We love to negotiate, the attention to details. Frankie says women have the natural compassion and are great listeners. It's so funny you say that. Listen to my next few. The next I have is women are very empathetic, right? They, you know, growing up when you wanted to talk to somebody, it was go talk to your mother, right? Because she had an empathetic soul, you know, an empathetic, like, I know, you know, me growing up, let's say, you know, I skint my knee or hurt myself. If I went and talked to my mother, oh, honey, you know, are you doing okay? You know, my dad, and keep moving, you know. I'm not saying every dad's like that. That's just kind of, you know, how I was. And I have a wonderful dad, by the way. But, you know, women are just more empathetic. They are wonderful listeners, okay? They are also very nurturing, okay? So in empathy, like Randolph said, empathy is natural for, and they have a nurturing spirit. So when you're going to an appointment or you're talking to somebody in sales or anything, you're very nurturing. You're wanting to help. You're, you know, give love and love on these people. They focus on teamwork. Yes, they focus on teamwork and understand the importance of teamwork. And as I know, men are really great at teamwork too. Also, they're wonderful multitaskers, okay? If you find the best multitasker in the world, guarantee you it's going to be a mother. Women tend to multitask and become very good at multitasking, you know, sitting here, you know, talking on the phone, changing a diaper, cooking supper, all of this stuff at the same time. So, and they're motivated by challenges, right? Like for me, like I was telling you my story earlier, how it was, a harder job for me to work at Coca-Cola. And it was a harder job for me, to, pick up 50-pound bags of fertilizer and to go spread lawns and drag hoses across lawns. The reason why I chose the jobs, number one, is because I thought they were cool jobs. And number two is because it motivated me. The challenge motivated me. And I think all women feel the same way. You ladies agree? And Anne, one thing she says is they have great instincts. Another thing is women are very, very good communicators, very good communicators. They, understand the ability to, get through a conversation, to, as you talk about communicating, you're also talking about the listening, the empathy and all of that. So just in turn, they are great communicators. Hey, listen, women dream big. And I mean, they dream really, really big. So, they, in their minds, we, can imagine these big dreams for yourself, for your partner, for, your husband or anyone. You're okay with dreaming big because, you're a great, strong woman. You can wear many hats. I know a lot of you ladies out there really, really, really understand this. We have a whole plethora of hats, right? Okay, let me put the mom hat on. Let me put the business hat on. Let me put the friend hat on. Let me put this. You're used to wearing many hats. And as a business owner and an entrepreneur, you are going to have to wear many hats. So it's not going to be unusual for you. Okay? Women check their egos. May not want to hear this, but women are less likely to have a huge and big ego about themselves. And I believe when they start seeing themselves do that, more women kind of check themselves, to let their ego get out of control if you're going to be a leader. Okay. You have very high emotional intelligence. All right. And what I'm not talking about is intelligence. I'm talking about emotional intelligence. You understand we've been through a lot, we've, went through a lot of emotional, ups and downs. And, maybe not to be talked here, but, once a month, most of us women go through some very emotional times, and we're used to going through all these different emotions and used to getting through, all of these different hormones and things that run through our body. I mean, look at any pregnant woman and tell me you haven't seen, an emotional lady. So the intelligence for that emotions are a lot higher. Okay. Also, women tend to be flexible. I know for me, to keep like happiness around the home, I'm very, very flexible. If my family wants to do this and I want to do this, I'm easy to bend. If, plans change all of a sudden, then I'm easy to go there. It's kind of like, your daughter calls you from school and says, I'm sick, come get me. And obviously dads go pick up kids too, but we always run across scenarios. Women tend to, okay. I've just noticed this with a lot of women that I've worked with. They often tend to lead by example. And oftentimes women tend to make their jobs look effortless. Okay. Because you want the mastery of that position. And it oftentimes looks effortless. And, more so than not, man, yes. I mean, look at any great, leader that's a female. Man, don't defy the odds. Wouldn't you find that amazing? So, really, that's what I had for you this evening, and what I want to, bring home to you. And we've got a lot of ladies on here tonight. And by the way, a lot of you ladies that are on here are, working with us one-on-one, and I appreciate you taking that step in your life. okay? Because you're doing the right thing. But ladies, I want you to know, whatever dream, I don't care what it is. What if your dream is, to be a stay-at-home mom? Do it. You'll find a way. What if your dream is to, start this or start this business, You can do it. And the biggest thing is that you don't need someone sitting behind you telling you that you have the ability to do it. You can do it, okay? And also, women, on that subject, be a hero to other ladies. Yes, you heard me right. Be a hero to other ladies. When you see other women out there killing it, let them know. Be their cheerleader. Be a cheerleader to other ladies. And not saying any of you guys do this, but I often see that women compete with each other over and over and over again, and we should not be doing that. There's no need to compete. There's no need to be catty. We're not in high school anymore. We've got to, show love to each other and bring people up instead of bringing them down. All right. And you don't need anybody else's, opinion it that way. So because of what women go through, I respect their ability to multitask quick. So yeah, you agree there. One other thing that I would like to say is this. Oftentimes, it doesn't matter if it's this business or another business or not. But do you know that most men hire mentors and most women do not? Women don't believe as strong in hiring a mentor because they don't believe that is something necessary, right? Or that maybe you should go through a school or you should, go through something like that. But whenever you're starting a business and you do not have a boss that you can talk to about your problems, or you don't have a boss that you can run ideas by, you need to have a mentor. You need to have a mentor so you can run your ideas by them. For the same reasons I said earlier, love that constant approval. We like to know the things that we're doing is right. So even though men hire mentors far more than women do, I almost think women need it more because, being able to run those ideas, having a cheerleader in your corner, whether that's driven, real estate team, whether that's somebody, maybe it's a life coach. Excuse me, I'm going to get me a drink here. But you more than anybody, needs a mentor. I'll tell you, the day that I got it out of my mind that I was paying for a service, and what I'm doing, when you hire a mentor, what you're doing is you are shortening the time it takes to become successful, because all of those things you might have done on your own could have been avoided if someone told you do it or to not do it, or say, well, in my experience it's like this. So that's my thoughts to you. If you're a woman and you want to go start a hair salon, go hire the lady who started a hair salon and it's killing it at the hair salon. No matter what, maybe you're doing an online, you're doing anything. Especially if you're going to be, when you're getting started and you're a realtor, it's really, really important to have a mentor in that business as well. That's all, really that I have to say about that tonight. I'm open for, any questions that you might have or, any feedback. Greg says, would you shed some light on approaching women instead of a man as a homeowner that has a house that I want to buy? Should the approach be different? Yes, it should. So when you're a man talking to a man, okay, there's something called, or what I call it is it's sort of like a manifestation of pride. Okay. Pride is something that affects all of us, men and women, but men tend to to beat and fight up against one another a lot. So, you're determining dominance. You're, assessing dominance. To lion. When you're going and you're approaching a woman, in my opinion, more so than a man, you do not need to push that dominance and to kind of, okay? You need to bring yourself down a little bit, and you want to relate to a woman. And how do you do that? Is by empathy and being a good listener. Okay. So my thoughts to you is if you're dealing with a woman instead of a man, if you're a man, it's better to go into it a little bit lighter and a little bit softer, and really understand and get to the reasons why they're wanting to sell and why they're wanting to talk to you. Okay. And you've also got to watch body language too, because there's many different types of women. Is she shy? Is she, bold? Does she, have a dominant personality? You've just got to, for those things. But I mean, I even talk to women different on appointments than I do men. I try to find commonality. I try to, talk things like maybe chill things, like things that excite them. That's how I would, that's how I would talk to, a lady if I was and I call them ladies because, I mean, we are ladies and we deserve to be treated like ladies. But please, come on, everybody, let's get some going. That's what I'm here for. Any question you may have. And let me look. I think I missed a couple up here. Greg wanted to know, and Greg, thank you for the questions. Good job, man. Would you recommend that we send a yellow letter first before making contact by phone with the homeowner? So one thing he's referring to is that we cold call our leads and we send letters, especially to our driving for dollar leads. Now, me personally, I'm all about efficiency, right? So I'm not in the mode of trying to save a stamp. So I like getting tasks done. So Greg, what I do is I look at my list and I'll sit there and get all those letters done. And then I'll start making my calls. I don't care if the person told me, no, get out of the world, I don't want to talk to you. I'm sending both. Okay. Oh, and by the way, now that we're kind of on that subject, don't be afraid to get your children into this business, especially teenagers. Like one thing that my 15-year-old daughter does is she has to write these letters and these envelopes for me. Involved in my life. It's and you know what? Really think kids should be earning their keep a little bit too. So that's how I handle, that situation. But also, one thing, and I want to be quite honest, all my upfront callers that I've ever hired have been ladies because of these reasons that I was talking to you about earlier. So in the things that, even the negative things that I said about women tonight, guys, or ladies, is I want you to take those things and use them to your advantage. Use that we're more emotional. Please. It's okay. I mean, this is literally how God made us. Use the fact that we're more emotional. Use the fact that we're better, that we're good listeners and we're empathetic. Some of these same reasons, people in business think that we're not as good is the reasons why we can be the best. So, like I said, whatever dreams you have, girl, just go out there and get it. But that is all that I have for you tonight. The only other question is Esteban wanted to know if we could get a copy of this webinar tonight. And actually, the replays will go out to everyone. So if you signed up to listen to this webinar, the list, you'll actually get that replay tomorrow sometime. And please show her. And I'm just wondering, looking to get into real estate investing, or what is she looking? Just a question. And And I want to say, thank you for everybody being on tonight. Thank you for being a part, of what we do here on Tuesday night. Continuing to follow us on social media or anything. And please, 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 if you ever have a question on the webinars or anything like that, let me know. Put something on my Facebook or Instagram, and I'd be more than happy to help. So, go out there and go out there and, yep.
Can you hear me?
Rafa?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Thought I heard you, dear. I can hear you now. Uh-huh.
I think we have a little bit of a delay, but before we went forward,
Rafa.
Before you end the webinar, I wanted to say, right, who would love to partner with Julie, right? Who would love to partner with a team that has this level of heart and intention in what we do, right? If you're that person, we want you to go to coachingbypeter.com tonight. We have a lifetime membership proposal available to work with us at a deeper level. For those of you guys that are already working with us at a deeper level, please, we're so thankful for you, and we encourage you to continue to reach out. We're here to support you. And if you're not yet, we invite you to take that leap tonight, right? If you want to learn more, if you want to connect to this and be part of our partner-driven network, go to coachingbypeter.com.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you, Rafa. And I got so excited about what I was talking about. I forgot to, if you guys don't mind, a little bit, kind of about what we do. So one thing, that I did with is with you to show you exactly how to find deals. There's tips and the strategies how to find the deals. Also, I teach you exactly how to call these people and set appointments. Once we find the deals and it's something that we want to buy, we will walk you through the whole process, and we'll actually we'll pay for the purchase of the property, pay for the rehab, and then in the end, split profits with you 50-50, okay? The cool is that thing about that is the fact that we are money where our mouth is. We want to believe in you as much as as much as you believe in yourself. Jeff asked, how many properties have you done? I personally have done a little over 1,500 deals, which include wholesale deals, fix and flips, as well as buy and holds. I love fix and flip properties, but I'll tell you, I really, really love wholesaling. But I do anything, exit strategy, everything, really to me is about profit margins. And Jeff, if you would like to know more about how much it is to work with us, go to my partners page at www.coachingbypeter.com. And, you can actually go in there and click one of those little buttons, and then we'll actually get right back to you and send you a proposal like Rafa was talking about earlier. And, I guess it's strange that I'm going to this next subject. As I sent you to my partner's page, Peter Vekselman, not very, very, very many coaching programs or partnership programs. Because I call it partnership because I don't feel like the people I work with are like students or mentors. To me, they're my future business partners. But our program is unlike, okay, because you've got both of our personalities. If any of you that know Peter and know me know that we are like polar opposites. We work well together. So when you work with us one-on-one, you're going to actually get his personality and my personality too. So with that being said, it's something that's great for you, and this is in Jeff, by the way, I don't mind you asking this. He said, why do you charge anything? Okay. So number one, if we are going to work with somebody, right? And we're going to fund your deals. We're going to show you how to do deals. We're going to do all of that stuff. Okay. I've got to separate the people that I know are really in this to win this. Okay. And if we're going to have skin in the game, you're going to have skin in the game too. I would never, never, never be able to have enough time in my life, to talk to people and to train people on all the things that I've learned over the years that I had to pay to learn, that I've had to learn over time. So the reason why we charge for that is so that you can learn these things. Not to mention, I provide leads. I do your skip tracing for you. These are all value added services. And actually those things cost me a great deal of money so that I'm able to provide that to people that I work with. But I definitely don't mind, answering that question. And I hope that answers it, because I know that, if someone is willing to invest in themselves, I'm willing to invest in them. Okay. So that's my answer to that. But again, www.coachingbypeter.com and, go ahead and fill out that little form there. Brian says, so I often find that when trying to do deals, trust me, what should I do to fix that? Brian, oh, by the way, Brian and I, we're working on a deal right now tonight. Hey, Brian. He's got a little 2-in-1 up there that we're trying to get under contract. But the reason I feel like women don't trust you is because you're not taking enough time to build a relationship with them. Point simple. The only barrier for trust that we're having a problem with, and this is men or women, is that what we're not doing is you're not spending enough time building a relationship of trust. Okay? And, like Rafa said, men are fast and women are slow. I mean, for any of you that know that, I mean, you got to, court them a little bit. You got to do all that stuff. So that was Brian, is that. And he said, listen, I mean, there's still a lot of you on. Ask me any questions that you may have. I'll stay on for a little bit longer. Feeling good tonight. I was able to eat dinner before this call. Usually I eat dinner after the call, but I shouldn't be saying this, but I had Captain D's tonight and it was wonderful. Elisa said, how would you handle when a call is going good and then they hang up on you? Call them right back, text them right back over and over and over again and say, and I do this a lot. I've had people hang up on me and I call them right back and go, I don't know what happened. Somehow or another, we must have dropped the call. That's what I would do. And maybe, Elisa, where you want to get to a point to where you want to build the relationship on the phone. You want to do those things, right? But you also can't be afraid to go and close a deal either. So you want to kind of go for the hook as quickly as you can while building a relationship at the same time. I mean, it's really kind of it's kind of a balancing act between the two. What are some marketing strategies to increase exposure? Well, one of the best marketing strategies that I've done, over the years is I absolutely love direct mail. That way you're taking your inbound calls instead of making outbound calls. The thing is direct mail can be very costly, okay? But it does work. Another thing, Kenna, is we've really got to work on our social media channels. This day and age, people aren't going to websites to look you up. They're going to social media. So any that's working this business, people ought to be able to know exactly what you do by looking at your Facebook. I find it so funny that, let's take a realtor, for instance. I'll go to a realtor's page, scrolling through their Facebook, and I can't even tell on there that they're a real estate agent. Why in the world would you be in a business like that, of relationships, without everybody knowing exactly what it is you do? Look at investing the same way. As I was telling somebody earlier today, I mean, I get 2 or 3 organic leads a week from people wanting me to purchase their home. Do you see me? You're not seeing me advertise on, Facebook like, hey, I want to buy your house now, even though I think you should. People know what I do now, then they just come to me. Tangent there. But if if you are going in this business for the long haul, you've really got to start working on your social media channels, each putting some engaging content on there so that organically everybody knows what you do. And it's really cute because I'll have my family members, not that I encourage things off Facebook Marketplace or from Craigslist or anything, but they'll shoot me things that are for sale. So it's like they're kind of looking for deals for me sometimes, and they're doing that out of love. When people know what you do for a living, people want to help you. So just keep that in mind, Kenna. Let me get to the next question. If you're starting off with little money, what marketing strategy would you suggest? Direct mail or bandit signs or social media? Okay. If you're starting out with little money, I would do $, which is there, and pay to have your property skip trace so that you can find the owner's cell phone number. Send them a piece of mail, call them, and social media is free. So you should do those. I like bandit signs. I hardly ever do those anymore. But you do get good calls off of it. Direct mail is going to cost you probably, I've got my direct mail down to about 43.5 cents per piece. But if you're doing small quantities, it's going to cost you upwards of $1 per piece of mail. So you're going to get a better quality lead by driving for dollars and cold calling and sending a handwritten letter. It's going to work. But if you're starting out with little money, that's what I would do. Do bandit signs work? If yes, how many signs should be placed in an area? Bandit signs definitely do work, okay? Starting out, I would probably buy 100 of them, okay? And when you're dealing with bandit signs, you want to place them into areas that are going to be visibly seen. Look around your areas. People also on that subject, people always want to know where to put them. Let me give you one way that I think about it. So one reason why these little signs get taken down is because they're in right-of-ways. So, like, just think of the guys out there, or the women, the women out there, or the men that are driving those tractors that cut the grass on the side of the road. Let me tell you, they get annoyed as anything when they run that over one of those signs. So try to place your signs in places where maybe that bush hog is not going to go, okay? Or where they don't take care of the streets in that areas. I actually like bandit signs for more rural areas. They tend to work better for me in more rural areas because, like, excuse me, if you go to the city of Atlanta, you're going to see them, just everywhere, right? Well, as I mentioned, I live in the North Georgia mountains. I actually place bandit signs in my little small town and get lots of good calls because the people aren't used to seeing these signs. So then they'll call me, curious about it. So that's my opinion, on those bandit signs. He wants to know, how can I understand my market better? Okay. Let me tell you something about markets, and it's really, really, really simple, okay? And I'm going to tell you exactly where you should be working in any marketplace in America. And a couple sentences here. Every major city, or even smaller city, okay? I'm not saying you should be necessary, even though you can be real estate investing in these super, super small towns, you're not going to make as much money as if you move to a larger city. In every city, there's like 4 parts to every city, okay? You got where the super rich people live, right? You got upper middle class, you got lower middle class, and then you got war zones. Where do you guys think you need to be? My mom's actually in the other room. She's answering my question for you. She said middle class. Thanks, Mom. So what you are looking for distressed properties and distressed people, okay? So do super rich people, do they run into problems in life? Yes, absolutely. Everybody in the world runs into problems every now and then, but the likelihood is a lot less. Upper middle class is the same way. You want to be in blue collar, working class areas. I repeat, blue collar, working class areas. These are areas where I say the regular people live, okay? So kind of like put this in your mind. Let's pretend like you're a mechanic, let's say, and you are going to go buy a house. Mechanic is a great job, by the way. It's an awesome career. But where would you go? Where would you go live on that salary? Think about that. Where you're at. Whenever you figure out where that mechanic is going to go live, right? That's where you know you're working in a good area. And when you're first getting started, you don't want to be in war zones either. Even though I've wholesaled plenty of properties in war zone areas, you should not start there. And I've never flipped a house in a war zone area. I've only sold them to maybe buy and hold guys that buy and hold in those particular areas. So I don't know. I don't know if that helped you a little bit with that question. And, maybe I'm giving you too much here, but that's how to understand your market better, is to understand the people better. It's not the market. Remember, it's not the market, it's the people. Well, all right. Well, I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to... Ooh, Scotty stepped away to talk to a seller about a property. That's good. Well, awesome. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a good evening, and I will see you next Tuesday. And for those of you that I'm working with, I'm sure I'll talk to you this week. All right. Have a good night.